Welcome. I'm PJ Dowsing Bowie, a field education coordinator in the Southern region for the National Union. Just to give you a little background on me, I have over 40 years of experience in the labor union. The first half of my career was spent as a staff representative, and the remaining years I've been a labor educator. When the education department formally designed mentoring programs, my thoughts drifted back to the labor educator that mentored me. He would often ask me to assist him in various training projects and special events. Since our mentoring relationship was informal, and at the time I was young and naive, I was totally unaware that I was being mentored. But look at me now, I am a labor educator. His words of wisdom to me were, never let him see you sweat. I recently ran into him and thanked him for supporting me in my growth. Now, let's look at our learning goals for today's webinar. As a participant, you will learn the value of a mentoring relationship, understand the role of the mentee in the mentoring relationship, know what qualities to look for in a mentor, and commit to seeking out a mentor immediately following this webinar. Within every organization, you will find a subculture of its own. The labor movement isn't any different. The question is, how do you navigate this landscape and move freely and grow within our union? You find a mentor. This short module is designed for people who are seeking to find a mentor. What do you look for in a mentor, you ask? Simply, someone who will support you and your growth as an activist in the labor movement. So what is mentoring? Mentoring is a relationship between two people that focus on developing knowledge, skills, and leadership for union activism. Mentoring is a vehicle for current leaders to develop and grow the next generation of leaders. This enables leaders to pass the baton to younger workers and activists. Mentoring can be especially beneficial for women, providing the support they need to move up through the ranks. Take a good look around. What do you see happening in the workplace and in your local union? Are there enough new leaders identified to keep our movement alive? I would venture to say that we're all in the same leadership crisis that is impacting the labor movement. Mentoring usually happens when a need arises. There is definitely a need to develop and help to build leadership teams that reflect the membership by race, age, and by sex. The mentor often acts in the role of a counselor, a guide, and an advisor. It is a means of support for you, giving you, the mentee, an opportunity to talk with people who've been through what you're often going through. How can mentoring benefit your local union? Mentoring can be very beneficial to unions now more than ever, at a time when many of experienced leaders are retiring from the movement, not to mention the battles that are on the horizon. The labor movement needs to identify, recruit, and develop a cadre of new leaders. This is where you come into the picture. There is a need to infuse the labor movement with new and fresh ideas. Some of these benefits include increases union solidarity and makes the union stronger, increases visibility in leadership, transfers the knowledge and experience, develops new activists and leaders, and finally helps our union to identify barriers. You and the mentor will want to schedule an introductory meeting as soon as possible, after the mentoring relationship has been confirmed, both to get to know each other and to discuss shared goals and expectations of the relationship. A mentoring relationship is a commitment of time as well as energy. Pre-plan your logistics. It is important to clarify expectations such as the time of span of the mentoring relationship. How often will you meet and for how long? Will you meet face-to-face or by phone? And don't forget we have Skype. Remember, keep appointments. After all, everyone's time is valuable. Now you're probably asking yourself, I'm pretty smart. Why do I need a mentor? I can navigate these waters. Well, let's take a look. Some reasons that you would need a mentor. They would offer you a perspective and experience. They'd help you think outside the box. They will help you set goals. You will often need a trusted colleague. And of course, there's accountability. Now, let's dig a little deeper on each one of these. Mentors come with a wealth of knowledge and experience. More than likely, mentors have stood in exactly the same spot where you are right now, facing some of the same challenges. A mentor will be able to offer you a different perspective, the situations that you may be facing. There may be situations where you are feeling uncertain or confused about how to approach someone in a conversation. This is where your mentor will be a tremendous help. They can help you navigate the waters and in many cases keep you from drowning. Remember, your mentors will be sharing with you what I often call the good, the bad, and the ugly for a reason. I would suggest that you listen to these stories. Your mentor will help you think outside the box. They can help you look at the situations from all sides in ways you may never have thought of before now. Remember, the role of the mentor is to guide the mentee by asking thought-provoking questions, not to tell you what to do in that situation. However, there will be some occasions when your mentor will give you some sound advice, rather than let you go down a road that may cause you harm. The goal of the mentee-mentor relationship is for the mentee to hone in and develop their critical thinking skills and build self-confidence. Your mentor will help you by asking questions that will help you to think through situations and solve problems. The more you're able to formulate your own solutions to these problems, the more self-reliant you will become. Often, we have these limiting beliefs about what we think we can and can't do. A mentor can help you become more aware of these patterns. Remember, keep an open mind throughout the mentoring relationship and be willing to hear feedback. It may be difficult to receive feedback at first, but it will give you another perspective other than your own. After all, that's one of the reasons that you wanted a mentor, right? Your mentor will be speaking from experience. Keep in mind the final decision lies with you. However, you must be willing to live with the consequences of your decisions. I have had situations where mentees felt they were ready to conquer the world, or at least their local union, but lacked the necessary skills and wherewithal to make it happen. Now we're going to do a skills check, and the simple answers are true and false. Mentoring is a relationship between two people that focuses on the developing knowledge, skills, and leadership for local union activism. True or false? We have 94% said true, 6% said false. The mentoring relationship is really all about you, the mentee, focusing on developing new knowledge, skills, and leadership abilities. And so the answer is definitely true. Mentoring is guaranteed advancement in your union. True or false? 15% said true, 85% said false. False is correct. The mentoring relationship is not a guarantee to advancement in your union. We all know that nothing is guaranteed. But the mentoring process is really about your personal development. Where there is no vision, the people will perish. I am a firm believer that it is your responsibility to design the life you desire. You need to not only have a plan for your personal life, but for your career path as well. Therefore, you must learn to balance the day-to-day with the big picture called life. That's where your mentor comes into play. More than likely, they will be asking you to think about such things as, where do you want to be 5, 10, or 15 years from now? What impact would you like to have on your union? What self-development and skill set will help you reach your desired outcome? With the help of your mentor, you will be able to set short, smart, realistic, future-oriented goals. You will often need a sounding board. Oftentimes, these issues are not appropriate conversations to have with your supervisor or other individuals that you work with on a daily basis. It may be an ethical question or something. Sometimes you need to have someone you can have these courageous conversations with. And this is an opportune time to role play that situation with your mentor and think the conversation through. Don't be afraid to put confidentiality safeguards in place. After all, the mentors will be sharing their stories and experiences, and expect to keep it within the boundaries of the mentor-mentee relationship. Be sure you maintain confidence. It's all about accountability. Be sure you are prepared for each mentoring session. You will want to ensure that all tasks that you discuss with your mentor have been completed. To take it a step further, I would suggest that you journal and keep notes of your meetings. A mentor will help keep you accountable. I would also encourage you to think in advance about the following. What do you want out of the upcoming session? What challenges are you facing? And what do you need from your mentor? Your mentor will help keep you on track and accountable. Once this has become a habit, accountability will become ingrained, and you will fall into the habit of holding yourself accountable and following through on your task. Are you ready to be stretched? Stretching is defined as a form of physical exercise in which a specific muscle or tendon is deliberately flexed or stretched in order to provide the muscle's elasticity and achieve comfortable muscle tone. The result is a feeling of increased muscle control, flexibility, and range of motion. If we transfer this definition to the mentoring relationship, the mentor will help the mentee to stretch to the limits and to suggest ways to go up a notch higher. It is so easy to become comfortable. Be ready to step outside your comfort zone. Stretch yourself and see how you grow. Periodically throughout the mentoring relationship, There will be opportunities to step up your activism in your local union. You may be asked to try your hand at chairing a meeting or organizing an event. And your stretch may even be public speaking. As I often say, feel the fear, but do it anyway. The mentoring relationship is a two-way street. One-way conversations where one person holds court while the other dutifully listens limits the opportunity for growth. A strong two-way dialogue can help both parties become stronger leaders. I can't begin to tell you how much I've learned over the years from younger mentees, especially in this new digital age. Before you set out to find a mentor, let's recap. What makes a good mentor? Mentors listen, giving the mentee their undivided attention. Mentors are practical. They give insight about keeping on track and setting goals. Mentors guide. They are there to help the mentee find their direction. Mentors provide insight by sharing their personal experiences, hopefully to help their mentee avoid mistakes. Mentors give constructive feedback when needed, pointing out the areas that need improvement. You're all ready, but how do you find a mentor? You have not because you ask not. Here are a few suggestions. Cast the net wide. Of course, you can check within your local union or your council. What I didn't tell you in my earlier story about my first mentor, he was a Teamster, which was not the union that I worked with at the time. Who do you know in your personal network that you have encountered that may have some of these qualities? Start off by simply engaging in a casual conversation to determine if there's a natural connection. Mentors are everywhere. They are invisible. They're visible as well as oftentimes invisible. You may volunteer to serve on a committee that piques your interest, and there you may find a mentor. Trust me, just ask and the mentor will appear. Some parting thoughts. You've been mentored, learned new skills, developed your self-confidence, enhanced your leadership skills. Of course, the list could go on and on. What do you do next? Now is the opportunity to use those skills for the good of the union, your union. Hopefully, the outcome of this mentoring relationship will move you, the mentee, to action. So we have a few more questions, and the answers will be true or false. Mentors are available as a resource and a sounding board. True or false? 100% true, and that is correct. Your mentors are there as a resource to help you navigate your local union, and they'll be there as a sounding board when you have these ideas that you want to bounce off of someone. Thank you. Mentors are expected to tell the mentee what to do in the various situations. True or false? So we have 73% that say false and 27% that say true. I kind of see this as my trick question. So initially, yes, the mentor is expected, the mentee is expected to come up with their own answers to their questions. But also having a mentor there as your guide, sometimes you may have to take or need to take some advice that the mentor would give you. So it's yes and no. It's true and false. So your mentor is there to support you to keep you from sometimes going down a road that may be harmful to you. The mentor will establish all of the learning goals. 84% said false and 16% said true. It is the responsibility of the mentee to establish their learning goals. With the assistance of the mentor, they'll help you establish SMART goals that are attainable and help you really work through and clear up what you want the end result to be. So the answer is false. Thank you. After the mentoring relationship has ended, you will be expected to continue being active in your union. True or false? Ninety-one of you, 91% of you said true, and 9% said false. And yes, we do expect you to continue to grow and be active in your local union. Thank you. And we talked about this earlier on your attendees panel. There is a resource that you can actually download now, the Next Generation, a handbook for mentoring future union leaders. And it's an excellent handbook that you will get a lot of information out of. It's put out by the Burger Marx organization. And you can download it on your, it's under the handouts tab on your attendees panel.
Also, I wanted to let you all know, someone typed into the question queue, will we have more classes about union activism? And we actually do have more classes about union activism. They're located in the video archive. If you go to www.afscme.org/video and go to the AFSCME's Got Skills section, you'll see all of our previously offered classes. And then you can find new skills there as well as brush up on some old skills, but all of our classes are there. This class will also be there in the new year. So you can come back to this as a resource as well and to look for other classes that are there. We have quite a few. So I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. We appreciate your time. So again, I just want to thank you all for your time. I want to give you a special thanks, PJ, for bringing this information to us and teaching this class to us.
Well, thank you. You're welcome, Shondell.
Okay, well, thank you, everyone. Enjoy your evening, and continue to look for us on the AFSCME webpage and in your emails for new classes coming up. Thanks again, and everyone enjoy your holiday, and Happy New Year.